in the Pokemon universe, as Ash pops from region to region, gaining new Pokemon and battling against new gym leaders. Every episode is connected to the last, and the consequences of previous seasons play into future seasons. Time is very clearly passing. However, in other long-running animated TV series like The Simpsons or Family Guy, episodes are episodic. They're not connected to each other. And therefore, while logic would dictate that all these episodes have to come from different days, and therefore we put all these different days together, that time would have obviously passed. The lack of a linear storytelling model allows for these characters to stay at the same age forever. However, it's not just Pokemon's linear answers. What is the One Piece? What does the Dark Continent look like? And how was Ash 10 for 20 plus years? And a lot of these questions that are currently unanswered are only unanswered because the manga they come from are incomplete. Some questions, like how is Ash still 10 years old, may never get an answer, regardless of how long the Pokemon manga, anime, or movies go. But that hasn't stopped people from trying to answer this incredibly prolific question. From trying to crack the code of Pokemon's main character's seeming immortality. One of the most talked about topics in all of anime, not just in the Pokemon fanbase, Ash's inability to age confounds weebs all across the globe. Because while characters in long-running shows not aging is not a new concept or a concept unique to Pokemon, as long-running animated TV shows like The Simpsons, Detective Conan, Family Guy have kept all of their characters at the exact same ages for a long time, simply because aging up those characters would mean they would have to.
And featured XYZ Dragon Cannon as its cover card. The good cards from this box include Carry On the Mage, a level 4 Beast Warrior with 1800 attack that pops a spell or trap after discarding a spell. Treeborn Frog, a level 1 Aqua monster that revives itself from the grave during the standby phase if you have no back row. And Mecha Phantom Base Hamstrat, a level 3 machine that summons 2 tokens when flip face up. The continuous trap Ninjutsu Water Transformation, which would also see some play, but nothing too impactful. On the bad end, we have just about everything else to come out of Electric Overload. Duel Links seems like the kind of place where an iconic but bad anime boss like XYZ Dragon Cannon could carve a niche, or at least get a broken skill. But just like in the TCG, things didn't really work out for these light machines, where a lot of the boxes I've gone over in this video have seen their good cards repackaged into selection boxes, structure decks, and pickup boxes. Most of Electric Overload has only seen the one release. Ninjutsu Water Transformation and Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke managed to infiltrate Selection Box Volume 1, but XYZ Dragon Cannon remains an Electric Overload exclusive. Maybe this will change someday with the introduction of more modern XYZ cards. Noble Mortis. Your dedication to the Dragon Cannon has not gone unnoticed, and you're getting a nice commemorative plaque in the Union Hangar. And coming in at number 1, we have Land of the Titans. This was Duel Link's 4th mini-box that released in May of 2017. Its cover card was Green Baboon, Defender of the Forest, which no one was expecting and no one really cared about. But before we dive into Land of the Titans' disappointments, let's gloss over the good. Obedience Schooled is a normal spell that summons 3 different level 2 or lower beast monsters from your deck. Their effects are negated and they get destroyed during the end phase. And you're also locked into only special summoning beasts for the rest of the turn. But those are Obedience School's only costs. You don't have to discard or use any extra resources to activate, making this card a big advantage generator. Using your 3 beasts as materials for extra deck summons is usually the best way to maximize the value of Obedience School. But Land of the Titans were released into Duel Links way before Synchros, Xyz, and Link monsters. For a long time, your best use of this great card was probably distributing off 2 beasts for Blue Eyes White Dragon. However, these Pyro monsters just weren't explosive enough to see widespread use. But Volcanics weren't the only cards featured in Primal Burst. Lila, Lightsworn Sorceress, and Gaia Plate the Earth Giant weren't bad. And Earth Armor Ninja and Spell Striker were free special summons. But a large portion of Primal Burst was dedicated to Dark Worlds and Cloudians, 2 archetypes that have historically struggled in Duel Links. Dark Worlds in particular have had a bad time in the format, being both competitively unsuccessful and absurdly expensive to build. Primal Burst contained both Dark World Lightning and Snow, unlike Dark World as URs. And while Dark World Lightning could pretty much be ignored, Snow is a Dark World staple, and usually ran at 3 copies. Missing for Primal Burst are Grappa, Dragon Lord Dark World Dealings, and the Gates of Dark World. 3 vital Dark World cards that are also URs, and 3 other different main box sets. Luckily, the introduction of box chips has
Choose what starter he wants, opens up Pikachu's Pokeball, and picks him up. Now, to the point that Pikachu electrocutes the hell out of Ash. For the first time, what would be a long history of electrocuting the hell out of Ash. And while in the anime, immediately after being electrocuted by Pikachu, Ash is, kind of fine. He's a little crispy. This theory dictates that when Ash was electrocuted by Pikachu, he actually slipped into a coma. I mean, a 10-year-old taking 2 million volts from Pikachu's Thunderbolt is probably not going to be great for them. And thus, this theory stipulates that everything that happens after the first time that Ash is shocked by Pikachu is actually...
scarring on their body and have irritated the way their damage to the precious types. Dermatophagia can often result in infections, and the damage done to the skin can cause people to socially isolate themselves due to the shame and embarrassment of their condition. Never ever want to see my life not be all fucking disgusting. Not only does this come with similar risks, but it can cause serious interpersonal conflicts due to the gross nature of the act.
My birthday party.
Literally. It could also include other areas of the body, like biting the lips and cheeks to the point of causing painful sores. People that engage in this habit often have visible scarring on their body and have irritated skin. Similar to the precious types, dermatophagia can often result in infections, and the damage done to the skin can cause people to socially isolate themselves due to the shame and embarrassment of their condition. Some people lament that despite the insane amount of pain they're under, they still can't help but rip off their entire nail plates of their toes.
See, I've had this compulsion where I was like, I just want to rip my fingernails and toenails off.
Why?
They're already so low. I was like, I just need to get rid of them. But I don't want the pain. It hurts.
Doing calluses and sucking on knuckles. Never have I once seen that in my life, and that would be fucking disgusting. Some people lament that despite the insane amount of pain they're under, they still can't help but rip off their entire nail plates of their toes.
See, I've had this compulsion where I was like, I just want to rip my fingernails and toenails off. I think there's only been one time where I was afraid to just have a date look at my hands. She was,
Well, just one?
she was
Why?
so beautiful. I didn't want...
You're like, I've only been on a date with one person I ever truly found.
I think there's only been one time where I was afraid to just have a date look at my hands. She was,
Well, just one?
she was
Why?
so beautiful. I didn't want...
You're like, I've only been on a date with one person I ever truly found beautiful. Keep that in mind, ladies. If he's not hiding his hands, you're a dog. But where this really starts to escalate is when the next stage, toenail biting, happens. God, you've done all of these, Nick. Not only does this come with similar risks, but it can cause serious interpersonal conflicts due to the gross nature of the act.
My birthday party.
Literally. And on top of the potential health risks, many just find that they are ashamed of the way that their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. And on top of the potential health risks, many just find that they are ashamed of the way that their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look.
I think there's only been one time where I was afraid for just have a date look at my hands because
Just one?
she was
Why?
so beautiful. I didn't want.
You're like, I've only been on a date with one person I ever truly found